Hey everybody, how's everyone doing today? Kind of just wanted to make this video today to talk to you guys about just random stuff, what's been going on in my life for the past half a year since I released First Retro Part 1. There's been a lot of stuff. Really quick before we get into this video, I just want to say forgive me for kind of being all over the place. This is not scripted, there's no bullet points, I'm kind of just open-minded speaking to you guys, so just keep that in mind. First off, I kind of want to talk to you guys about like how I've been feeling and creative burnout and stuff like that, just kind of regarding the mod and stuff. So when I made Verse Retro Part 1, I made a lot of music for it all at once, and that kind of burnt me out for a few months. Usually when I'm not making a big mod project like this, I would release a remix like every weekend, and things would be great. YouTube really liked the weekly remixes, so I tried to get them out to you guys as fast as possible without feeling like they were rushed. But once I began work on the mod, that's when I kind of had to stop doing that, and it made things a lot tougher. It also unfortunately kind of killed my YouTube channel. The same thing happened with IPU, just to a lesser extent. IPU didn't do nearly as well as Part 1, understandably so, because it was just a spin-off update. But, it also didn't really perform where I thought it would, and it costed a lot more than Part 1, just due to different people, hiring different people, and it costing, cost varies per person. So I made a bunch of music for IPU in December. I was really happy with the music I made. And then after that, I just play tested IPU throughout all of January, and we ended up having to release it early because somebody leaked the mod. I don't think it was anybody on our team directly, but I think it could have been a case of, oh, this person sent it to a friend because they were excited and they wanted to show it, and then that person sent it to that friend, so on. So it went down the grapevine, and that's how it got leaked. So I still don't know who did it, but I'm not gonna lose sleep over it because it is what it is. But I wouldn't lie if I didn't say that it kind of messed with me, caused me some trust issues. There's already a bunch of shit going on in the FNF community, a lot of bad stuff, and it's really hard to trust people in this community. That's why you don't really see me collaborate with anyone. You don't really see me do cameos and stuff. Well, because also cameos wouldn't really make sense in my mod, but I digress. It's just hard. It's been really demotivating too. People are just pooping all over my passion project, and it's not a lot of people, but when you see a bunch of negative stuff at once, as a human being, you can only handle so much of that. You know what I mean? I know how much positivity the mod has. I know how many of you guys liked it, and I'm of course super thankful for that. But it's just when you see so much negativity at once. I think the tipping point for me was I asked a programmer for help on IPU, and they decided to not respond. Okay, that's fine. Happens. Later, once IPU actually released, I found out they shit talks the optimization and programming, and it's like, well, I asked you for help. Why are you shit talking? I don't know. As you guys know, I did distance myself from the community months ago. The Sonic.exe mod version 2 was the last Let's Play I did. I kind of want to get back into it, but at the same time, I'm not really sure. This whole thing's just been kind of demotivating. You might also know about the drama I had with a team member who I shall not name, but long story short, they sent some stuff that wasn't released to the public yet as a portfolio example to work on other mods. They didn't have permission for that. Coincidentally, this happened at the same time as IPU leaked, and I fucked up by assuming they were that same person, but they weren't. So because of that, I had a whole group of people come at my throats and miss the entire point of the post I made. So it's just a lot of hostility. There's a lot of hostility and negativity, and I don't even think it's the Friday Night Funkin' community overall. I think it could just be Twitter. I think it's just Twitter. Twitter sucks, like legit. I've been trying to get off of there for a while, but I think everything that's happened to me in the past 6 months, it's gotten so bad that I'm afraid to just like be myself and like talk about stuff and like do anything. And that's why, you know, Twitter just isn't healthy. It depends on the person, you know, like some people can handle that stuff better than others. I can't. Even though I'm a 28-year-old man, I still crumble when somebody says I suck. It hits different when it's behind your back. Like when you say it to my face directly, it's like, it's not a huge deal. But when it's like kind of said behind your back, like, oh yeah, I don't know, that RetroSpecter guy, he's kind of weird. It's like, what the fuck? What did I do to you? You know? Which leads me to another point. People are like, when I say people, it's just a couple people. So don't assume it's just like everybody, but I've had people call me like a zoophile before. I've had people say that I use the mod to like project my fetishes. It's like, what? No, bro, I can assure you, I do not want Sock Roma to crush my balls. Okay? I can't believe I have to say this. I thought it'd be obvious that was just joke banter, but it wasn't. So, you know, the fact that I have to clarify that, but you know, these people like to make up their own stories and, you know, spread it around and believe what they say is true when it's not. So anyways, yeah, I've been exhausted. I'm going to be honest with you guys, have not started part 2 yet. Well, that's not entirely true. We did start part 2 last year after part 1, but then IPU made more progress, so we focused on that. So part 2 does have bits and pieces done, but for the most part, it hasn't even started yet. And the motivation isn't there, you know, like FNF is dying, as we all know. I mean, you know, it might come back with the Pico Day update. I mean, that looks pretty cool, but you know, it's hard. It's hard to continue this project, especially with all the negativity and stuff. I feel like I'm also, you know, I'm not saying this is like a way to like toot my own horn or anything. I'm just kind of like stating it as fact. Aside from like Starlight Mayhem, you know, now that Bob and Bossip got kind of canceled, I feel like I'm one of the only big OC mods, quote unquote, out there. And it feels weird, right? Like, you remember last year we had like Hex and Sarvente and Ruv and Garcello. Those are like not as prominent anymore. And I know people are still making them, but nobody's showcasing them anymore. And it's kind of a shame. You know, as somebody with an OC mod myself, I think OC mods are like such a great way to express your music and like the art and world building. And I know you shouldn't make a story based around Friday Night Funkin', but like at the same time, it's such a fun way to do it. Like, you know, making the Verse Retro mod, it was so fun, and Berserker Retro came out of it, and now I use Berserker Retro as my mascot more than I use regular Retro. Regular Retro almost doesn't exist now at this point, like at least in my eyes, just because I use Berserker Retro so much for stuff. But yeah, it's been tough. It has, like, genuinely. I've been streaming a lot. I wouldn't lie if part of me streaming is probably has to do with coping. Just, you know, seeing my channel completely diminish due to my inactivity kind of demotivates me even further. But I do stream at twitch.tv/retro_specter. In case you are interested in seeing me stream, Twitch notifications are just as bad, if not worse, than YouTube. So that is something to consider. But, you know, I do have a Twitter and Discord that I ping for occasionally for tweets and stuff. So if you want to follow me on there, I'd appreciate it. I stream a lot. Probably more than I should. I'm actually toning down a bit because it's messing with my health a bit. Oh, right. I kind of want to... Okay. I'm going to go back a bit. Way back to when COVID started. So, as you know, March 2020, COVID happened. We got a huge lockdown. Before that, I would go out, grab my own meals, you know, drive around, and things were good. I wasn't like, you know, the healthiest weight around, but I was in a decent spot. But then the lockdown happened, and that is when DoorDash kind of branched out to my area, and that was probably the worst thing that could ever happen to my health, because I ended up depending on DoorDash for so many things, because being a bigger guy, you have to be really careful getting COVID, which I got 2 months ago anyway, so great. All those years of being safe didn't matter. But I digress. Because of that, my mental health and my physical health have kind of just been going downhill. As you all know too, I was in a polyamorous relationship. It was me, Kamix, and Shara. Me and Kamix ended up breaking up with Shara about half a year ago. So it's just been me and him now. But yeah, I wouldn't lie if that also didn't affect my mental health. Things haven't been good for me, you know? Like, I don't want your sympathy, or like, I'm not trying to ask for pity or anything like that, but I've just been kind of feeling like an awful person. It's gotten really bad these past like few weeks, where like I would just lie in bed all day because I just didn't feel like doing anything, or if I wasn't lying in bed, I was like streaming. So it's been hard. I do kind of miss kind of just making stuff for you guys, like making weekly remixes. I kind of want to do that again, but it's been so difficult because of my motivation and Twitter and the mod. So again, like I said, I'm kind of going all over the place, but going back to the mod, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not canceling the mod in case that's what you were worried about, but I will say part 2 could be the last one that I make. So if you're expecting verse like Izzy, verse Gluttony, etc., then might not do those. So just a heads up. I'm still not sure about Sakuroma. It really depends on if the team wants to or not. Some of us are kind of sick of her and how much attention she's been getting over the main channel just because of boobs. So that's something to think about. It does stink when a character I made gets more attention than the main character of like the entire, universe that I've set up. But anyways, is that everything I wanted to talk about? I think it might be. I'm sure there's going to be like one thing I forget and then I'll be like, ah, crap. But yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for listening to me ramble, guys. Like I said, I know this is all over the place, but I do appreciate you guys just listening. And I hope I could kind of like share my side of things as a mod maker and content creator. Ideally, I'd like to get Verse Retro Part 2 out for the 1 year anniversary, which is in about, 5 months, but it's hard to tell. Right now, it's things aren't looking good, but if things happen, I will keep you guys posted. So thanks again, everybody. You have yourselves a wonderful weekend if you're watching this on the day it came out. And I'll see you guys on the next stream. Oh, and also, remixes will start next weekend, so look forward to that. Thanks for listening to this update video and listening to me ramble for so long. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.